Hi there, it's Ryan G. Wright with DoHardMoney.com, and I'm coming to you with a question of the day. And the question is, what is the average profit on flipping a house? It's a fantastic question. If you've got a question like this, please type it in the comments below, and I would be happy to answer it in one of my question of the day segments. So type that question down below. But today we're going to be talking about what the average profit is on flipping a house. Now, there's obviously lots of variables, so I'm just going to give you some general information here. It's going to depend on where in the country you're located. It's going to depend on the average price of houses where you're at. It's going to depend on how you bought the property. If you bought the property off market, meaning not listed on the multiple listing services, or if you bought the property on the multiple listing services, that's going to make a big difference as to how good of a deal you got on this property. But what I can do is speak from my experience. So for the last several years, our customers, after they have paid for the property, after they have paid for the general contractor and all the costs, after they've paid taxes and insurance, and after they've paid title fees and agent commissions and everything else like that, on average, and this is a huge disclaimer, on average they're making about $30,000. Now, we've had some make $70,000 or $80,000 or $90,000, and we've had some not make any money because they made some big mistakes. But on average, if you take all that, it's about $30,000. Now, results vary. This isn't typical. You've got to check everything out. We can show that to you. But that being said, all those things being said, I would budget on about a $30,000 profit when I'm doing it. However, you can run the calculations yourself on a deal. What you do is you determine your after repaired value. And after you determine your after repaired value, then you determine how much you're going to do in fix-ups. And then you come up with a budget for that. And then you put in there how much it's going to cost you to resell the property. And you put taxes, and you put insurance, and you put utilities, and you put transfer costs. In addition to that, you're going to want to put any other expenses that may come up on the property. And then with that, you're going to come up with an idea of what your profit margin will be, minus what you've sold the property for, or what you bought the property for is going to give that. Lots of people think this is pretty easy to do, and we find it's not that easy, especially as you deal with transfer taxes. So we developed what's called the advanced deal analysis that does all this work for you by the click of a button. That works really well. Our members love it and have access to it. So, but that said, I think that you can do the calculations yourself and determine what that's going to be. If you need some help, you can use some software like the Advanced Deal Analysis, and it gives you an idea of what the range is. It's going to be different based upon where in the country, based upon your experience, based upon what you do, based upon how good you are. There's a lot that goes into it, but this is, I think, is what's really important. As we talk about the average property on flipping a house, what is really important is how people lose money. Where they don't make the money they're thinking, or where they lose some profit they would have otherwise had. And there's really a couple things. Number one is they overestimate what the property will sell for. They think the property will sell for a lot more money than it actually does. That's called overestimating. So they get too excited about what it'll sell for. So that's the number one. And you can prevent that by doing comps and doing it appropriately. Number two, they typically underestimate the amount of rehab cost that it will take to get the property done. Meaning they think it's going to be 30, but it ends up being 50,000 in a remodel. That will kill your profit margin. And number three is they don't buy the property for low enough. Typically they think, oh, I'll buy it for a little bit higher than what I was really thinking, and I'll make it up on the back end. That really doesn't work well. So you've got to know how much you could really buy that property for, because things are going to happen, problems are going to occur, and you need to plan for that. But this gives you an idea of what the average profit is when you flip a house. I hope this is really helpful to you. If so, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Give it a thumbs up here. Again, if you have a question like this one, type it in the comments below. I've also got a couple other videos for you to check out. What is full rehab on a property? What is doing a full rehab? You can check out that video here. And we've got a video over here as well as what real estate investors look for in a house. So you can click on both of those videos and check them out. If you like those videos, what you should do is consider subscribing to the channel, or check us out over at DoHardMoney.com, where you can get all kinds of information about everything real estate investing, especially if you're wanting to do that with as much leverage and as little money down as possible. Check us out. Otherwise, make it a very profitable day, and bye for now.